Today we're here with Bill, who is the most knowledgeable boiler expert that I have ever met, and we're going to talk a little bit about how to properly size your pumps. I get this call a lot, and people, want to know what size pump they need or if the pump on their system is properly pushing the water. So he's going to give us some tips on how to properly size your pump.
I guess when I look at a pump and talk to customers, it depends on the size of the house, square footage of the house, the BTU needs of the house, and how far the stove is away from the house. Typically the 1-inch lines are 0.885 ID line. That's good up until about 150 feet from the house.
Okay.
Because it's 150 feet of supply, 150 feet of return, which is 300 feet, plus what's ever in the basement once you come through with the insulated line to the side arm and or heat exchanger or whatever you're doing, or your in-floor. So that totals up. I use a lot of 3-speed pumps because it's more forgiving. You can run them low, medium, and or high. We got people that if they run their pump on medium, they'll run that for certain parts of the winter. When it gets extremely cold, they need more BTUs per gallon of water going through the heat exchanger faster. They'll kick it up to high. When it warms up towards spring, they'll kick it back down to medium. It doesn't use as much power, but I like to see the pumps always in the lowest part of the system. If your stove is sitting there and everything's in the basement, that's the lowest part of the system. I like to see the pumps in the basement. If for no other reason, that's the lowest part of the system. But if you got to change a pump, like in Wisconsin when it's 25 below zero on a Saturday night, if you want to have cold wet fingers out back of the stove, or cold wet fingers in the basement,
Right.
It's easier to change them out.
Absolutely.
I use several different size pumps. The biggest thing is you got to figure out the BTU needs of the house, the gallons per minute you can get past it with the tubing you have. The biggest thing is it comes down to the BTUs you need of the house. We try to run the BTUs that at least your furnace has and or gas boiler has in your house to be able to put those BTUs past your heat exchanger, be it a water to water or a water to your heat exchanger. That way you're not shorting yourself on the BTUs. With most of the wood stoves, you want to have a 15 to 20 degree delta T.
Okay.
The delta T is what the temperature leaving the stove is going through your system with everything running, a side arm, your heat exchanger, in-floor heat, and the return water. You want to bring that back at least 15 to 20 degrees within what the temperature left of the stove. If you're having greater range than that, you either need to size the pump bigger, or if you've got a multi-speed pump, turn the speed up on the pump. But you never want to have more than a 20 degree delta T because it takes your stove too long to recover.
Okay.
Not only that, on the Empyre stoves, the return line's coming back to the stove. Now, the way that Empyre stove is designed, where it burns in the front and it goes across those big ripples in the top of the stove,
Okay.
goes underneath that water baffle and out the back, that's also the coldest spot of the stove because that's where the smoke goes out. And if you're going to get any creosote buildup, where that return water comes in back of the stove, by dropping that temperature more than 15 or 20 degrees, you're going to start to build some creosote up back there.
Okay.
And those stoves, I've had them where they start in the corners and they'll eventually fill up with creosote. So you need to crawl in there and then back to that water baffle and keep that clean. And also there's 2 holes in the top of that stove. And those stoves don't do anything except when you crack the door open, it opens and takes the unburnt wood gas or the smoke out of the top of the stove, takes it to the chimney faster so you don't get so much smoke out at your face.
Okay.
But you want to clean that out back there. But the reason, if you got returning the water too cool back of the stove, you're cooling that back part of the stove off so much more, and it also builds up more creosote back there. And I've had people call where the creosote drips right down the wall of the stove. Now with a front air stove with a fan on the door, that's not as big an issue, but with the air tubes, with the rear air stoves, they call it, with the air tubes on the inside, where the holes come through the back of the stove, if that creosote runs down through there, it'll actually run in around those tubes, and I've had it get into the fan and stop the fans because the creosote buildup back there.
Oh, wow.
So you should, I tell people if you got a rear gear stove, that with that fan back there, that should be checked at least once a year, taken off, checked to make sure there's no creosote down there, and nothing, no buildup back there, and or ash that gets in there, and clean that out. I take my tubes out, I've got a rear gear stove. We take out our tubes every year or every other year, clean the tubes out, check the holes in them to make sure they're not too burnt out, because if you stack too much wood close to the tubes, and when the fan kicks on, if you got wood up against those holes, that air has got to go someplace. If those tubes are red hot, if you build up too much cold inside your stove, those tubes get red hot, the air, that fan will cut slits on that tube, or it'll open those holes up, and you're going to get too many CFMs of air going into that fan, into the blower, and you're going to burn too much wood because you're going to blow so much heat out of the stove. You're not going to keep your heat contained to be absorbed into the water.
Okay. So let's say we have somebody who has a 200,000 BTU unit and the boiler is 175 feet from the home and they are running water to air exchangers. Approximately what size pump would you say?
You would need a larger pump. I guess Bell and Gossett or any of the larger pumps that will produce anywhere from 18 to 35 gallons a minute.
Wow, 18 to 35 gallons. Yeah. So if we were down in a lower, like let's say below 200,000 BTUs, like 150 to 100,000 BTUs with like 150 foot range, what kind of gallons per minute?
If it's less than that, you could run, depends on, again, it all comes down to the BTU size, BTU needs of the house.
Right.
But it could also be with a smaller pump and a 3-speed pump, anywhere from 12 to 18 gallons a minute. 12 to
18. And then if we sized way up, let's say we're like a 400,000 BTU range, maybe more commercial, and had, well, let's say we're actually heating 2 homes, okay? Like a home and a shop, and we've got, at that point, a 200-foot run, combined. What kind of sizing would we be looking at? And let's say like the shop is water to air, but maybe the house is in floor.
The house would use maybe a little smaller pump.
Okay.
If you're running that far away from the boiler, excuse me, that far away from the boiler, you're more likely to have to go to 1.25 inch, 1.5 line.
Okay.
Because you can only get so many gallons of water per minute per foot of line. The more drag you got in the system, the bigger pump you need. And also you need a bigger line to be able to get those gallons per minute through that heat exchanger.
Okay, and so that'll be larger lines on both runs, to the house and to the shop.
Depends on where the stove sits. If the stove is 50 feet from the house, you could use an inch line on there. If your shop is 200 feet from the house and the shop is, say, 4,000 or 5,000 square feet, you maybe have to use 1.25 inches there. Depends on how warm you want to keep that shop.
Okay.
A lot of shops are kept at 50. I've had people tell me they're going to keep their shops at 50. You talk to them a year later, well, it's hard to drop it under 65 because it feels so comfortable.
Right.
So if the BTU needs it, anytime you're sizing it, it's the BTU needs of the building.
Right.
What you consider comfort.
Okay.
Shops, most time if you're working in there, 50, 55 is pretty much ideal.
Okay.
Especially in the wintertime, you're going to have heavier clothes on. In a house, typically houses, we keep our house at 72 to 74.
Right.
Just for comfort. You want to keep it warmer than that, go right ahead, throw another log in the fire.
Okay.
That's all it takes.
All right.
If people are you're making hard making the wood, you might as well be comfortable.
Absolutely.
I've had people tell me, oh, we keep our house at 68 degrees. You talk to them at a show the next year, well, how do you keep your house? Well, the house is so comfortable, we kept it at 74 to 76. How much wood did it take? I took a little extra, but my husband makes the wood. Hey, I'm enjoying the comfort,
Absolutely.
just what it is.
Yeah.
The thermostat up.
Yeah, turn the thermostat up, and, people, when they pay for gas, but when you make your own wood, it's not near the same.
It is not, no, I view the wood the same. I'm like, well, this is free heat, but then I have to remember that somebody's got to split those logs.
Yeah, well, it's really not free.
But it's not me. Not my
You
job.
gotta stack it.
Yeah. But, you know, it's hard to describe how to size it. The BTU needs of the house, the windows, the doors, the insulation in the attic.
Yes.
I take all that into consideration when I talk to somebody. A house that's 5 years old, you don't need as many BTUs in it because it's tighter. If you get a house, an older farmhouse, that you sit on the couch and the north wind and the curtains move a little bit, you need a little more BTUs in that house.
Right.
Because of the cold air coming in.
Like
Right.
ours,
Creeping in.
1950s it was good.
Yeah. You know, it all depends on the age of the house, the size of the walls, the insulation in the attic, how new the doors and the windows are. I go through a process when I talk to people. I guess I do it from experience, and as those numbers total up in my head, it's not hard for me to put down what they need.
Right.
You know, and I guess, I suppose I've been proved wrong once or twice, but if there's usually something wrong in the house, besides when I tell them what you pretty need to go, that's pretty much what it is.
Right.
And I've had people that tell me I'm using too many BTUs. I said I'd rather have too many than none.